Perfect. So thank you guys for taking time out of your day to meet with me and conduct this interview.
Mhm.
Firstly, before we start getting into all the details, could you guys firstly introduce yourselves and tell us what your team name was?
Yeah, our team name was Awesome Dragons. I'm Shukanth. I'm a third year CS major here at OSU.
I'm Nithin. I'm also a third year CSE major here at OSU.
I'm Kanishk, and I'm also a third year CSC student at OSU.
And I'm Siddharth, and I'm also a third year CS major here at OSU.
Okay, awesome. So that was pretty easy.
Mhm.
And for the first question, I'm just gonna throw it out there for any of you to answer if you'd like, or you could all share also if you would like. What initially inspired you to participate in the hackathon?
Yeah, I can go ahead and answer that one. I think like a big inspiration for me to join the hackathon was to kind of build my resume and get that experience both technically and working in a group setting. So I think that was a big thing for me.
Another one is like adding projects as well to like my repertoire so I could like talk about it in interviews. Because they love to like ask about like past projects that you've done. So joining the hackathon was a way to like gain more experience on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So a lot of career building, it seems like. Is there anything else?
Yeah, I'd echo off of that and say like I really like working with a team, and I think it's more practical, especially in the software engineering field. So like working with these three in like a collaborative environment, which is more so like more embellishing of what you're actually going to do in the career. That's really cool for me, and I love doing that.
Okay, wait, awesome. So a lot of great things. So can you share a memorable moment or highlight from your hackathon experience?
Yeah, sure, I can take that. Um, Something that I really look back on is when all of us were in our like apartment living room, like staying up till like 3 a.m. trying to debug something. It was really rewarding to get something to finally work after like
Hmm.
countless hours of working.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that sounds like such a relief. I've heard that these things can be so technical and like nitpicky.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I bet that that's just the best feeling. Are there any other like standout memories that you've made? Nothing
Probably us
crazy.
like recording our demo because we spent like a really good amount of time on that, especially for this one, just because we wanted to like position our product to the judges as best as we could. And our recording our demo definitely took a lot of our time. And I remember like one of the funnier moments, like sorry, Nathan, I'm outing you, but
Oh.
it didn't get kind of sleepy, so like we like woke him up in the middle to record his part of the demo. So
Hmm.
that was one of the funnier
That's
moments of this.
awesome. Okay, wait, that sounds like so much fun. So how did the hackathon challenge or improve your technical skills at all?
I would say like teamwork, building like delegating different tasks to each of us and then like finally coming together and like having the entire product like work really well and just working together is a big team skill that you would learn doing a hackathon.
And I would add
Absolutely.
on to that, I think being able to market your idea is something that I've greatly learned through this experience. Being able to like pitch it to the judges and show how you can add value through your product.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
And yeah, also technically, I think we work with like a pretty new stack. We use like Supabase for our databases, Fast API for our backend, and then React with our front end. And I don't think we've combined those three before, so that was a really cool like technical part of the project for us.
Yeah, that does sound really cool. All this stuff is very foreign to me, so I love doing these interviews and like hearing about all the cool things that you guys had to navigate through. So, what was the biggest takeaway or lesson that you learned from this past hackathon?
That's a good question.
Yeah, take some time to think about it if you need to. No rush.
I would say something that really helped us like succeed in this hackathon was taking the time to ideate. In past hackathons, we would try to come up with an idea really fast and get started working on that. But during this hackathon, something that we took away was if you like take the time, like take a few hours and hammer down like a really good idea, it boosts your chances of success a lot.
Yeah, there you go. Really knocking down that idea. Anything else?
I'd probably say just like positioning yourself as the user. So like we sort of thought of ourselves as the user when we were building this product that sort of like enhanced the user experience for us while we were developing. So I'd say that was
Yeah.
probably my biggest takeaway was not only focusing technically, but like thinking about what the user would actually want.
Yeah, catering to the people. That's also really, really important. So, how
Yeah.
did participating in this hackathon impact your career or your personal growth?
I can answer that one. So not just this hackathon, but like other ones in the past. having that experience was a good thing. I remember in a past interview that I had, they asked about a project that I did in the hackathon. And so it was like really easy to like talk about like the experience. And they really love like the team aspect of it because, in a real working environment, you're going to be working on a team. So they love like hearing about like team challenges and the stuff that you worked on and like the main like technical stuff that you worked on together. And that was like really helpful to speak on in an interview.
Mhm. And
Oh,
to add on,
absolutely.
like Hack Ohio is like the biggest like hackathon in Ohio, so it's pretty recognizable. I was able to talk about like our success at the hackathon, and I don't know, my interviewers really liked it, especially because it's like a large scale event, and it really shows how technically deep you are.
Yeah, and like a bunch of us also made like LinkedIn posts, so that was like a great way to get your name out there and kind of
Yes.
make new connections with people.
Oh, yeah. Making the LinkedIn post is sometimes like the best part. Just being like, look, I did it. And then everyone's congratulating you. It's always really
Yeah.
rewarding. So, were there any specific mentors or team members or any other resources that were really helpful throughout your hackathon experience?
I would say during our like ideation stage, our idea was like a tool that would help teachers. So we actually reached out to a teacher that we had during high school, and we showed our idea, and she gave us improvements on how we can make the product better.
Oh, wait, that's awesome. I love that. Was there anyone else?
Yeah, and the hack team was also great. We actually know one of like the hack like or student organizers, and they helped us especially with like the Lovable part. I know you guys hosted like a Lovable workshop, and a lot of our front end was actually developed on Lovable just because it enhances the flow for us and allows us to build a really neat front end with little to no prompting. So that was a really cool part for us. So that definitely helped us, especially frame how our user experience would look like.
Yeah, wait, I've heard a lot about that as well. I've heard it's a really, really helpful resource. So it's cool you guys like were able to utilize that. So what was one of the most challenging parts of the hackathon, and were you guys able to overcome it and how?
One big thing in the beginning was we started with like a different database. We started having our project be on like a Postgres database, and that was creating a lot of challenges. I remember Nithin, he ended up making a commit at one point, and then we had so many issues, not just with like not because of his commit, but because with the database. So we had to revert back. So like all the changes that we've made, like basically erased, and so we had to revert back. So like he
Oh my
like spent a lot of
gosh.
time on like this one feature and he had to like completely be redone because the database wasn't working. So we switched to like Supabase. So it just like set us back and so we had to like start from scratch again.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Wait, that actually sounds awful.
Yeah, and
I'm
then
so sorry.
to add on that, I think like another big challenge was just coming up with the idea in the first place. I think like after like the more hackathons you do, I think it becomes harder and harder to find products that aren't already like out there or already like things that people are using. So I think just like coming up with a new innovative idea is always something that is a challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there are so many of these every year too. So it's kind of nice that sometimes they cater it to specific things. So then you kind of have that prompt to work with. But yeah, for this huge hackathon, I can understand how that was a really difficult stage. So how did your hackathon project impact your approach to any future projects, kind of going along with that?
Yeah, actually, we ended up so after like winning the hackathon, we got the opportunity to present at Boss, which is like best of student startups. We got to kind of pivot our idea rather than focusing on teachers, we wanted to focus on presentation practice in general. So we had the opportunity to kind of reframe our like application and present that to the judges, which was like a
Ooh,
really cool opportunity. We
wait,
actually
that,
just
yeah,
sorry, go
wait, sorry. I was literally just gonna ask you to like elaborate on Boss. I think that's so
ahead.
cool.
Yeah, we actually just did our presentation yesterday.
Oh, no way.
Um, yeah, so
Mhm.
there was like a panel of five judges, and we got to go up there and present for 5 minutes, and then it was 5 minutes of like questions.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and did it go well? Like, what were the results?
Yeah, we got 5,000 for our because like it's now like a business that we're studying from the hackathon
No
project.
way. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations. That's so
Thank you.
Thank you.
cool. Wait, so it's awesome to hear that your hackathon experience literally led you. Can I ask, was it 5,000 each or 5,000 between the four of you?
It's for the business. So
Yeah,
like,
so for all of
Oh,
us. Yeah.
so you guys don't even, okay, no, but that's still a great deal of money. I
mm,
feel like that's awesome. That's a really, really cool accomplishment. So, what advice would you give someone considering joining their first hackathon?
I would say if you're like new or if you're like a freshman, um, definitely try the hackathons. I remember when I was a freshman, I was scared to go to like HackOHI. Like there's gonna be so many like these like older people that are so much technically like gifted than me. Like I'm not gonna know what to do. But like HackOHI, they host a lot of workshops, and you can, really learn a lot of stuff growing. And I think honestly, I learned so much more about how to code during these hackathons than I do anywhere else. So definitely just putting yourself out there and attending these workshops.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
also say definitely leverage as many AI tools as you can. I know a lot of people are kind of scared of like using a lot of AI tools, but I think it really does accelerate your development speed. And especially those that are newer, they don't have as much experience as some like more senior students. So I think these AI tools definitely will help a lot, and they definitely have helped us a lot in our hackathon experiences.
Yeah, and to kind of build off of that, like I think AI now has made like building an application so much more easier.
mhm.
So a lot of it comes down to like your initial idea, how much value you can add, as I mentioned before, and how much the judges actually like that idea.
One
Yeah.
big thing is for your demo video, really look at the rubric. I remember like we looked at the rubric and we wanted to include every single point in our slideshow so the judges would like easily be able to like mark off each part on like the rubric. So that's something like a lot of people don't really think about. Instead of just a project, you want to like make sure you hit on the points that the judges want to see.
Yes, and that's so easy to overlook, even though it's like usually the most obvious thing. You got to follow the rules. So, for my semi-final last question, how has the hackathon community influenced your journey after the event?
That's also a really good question. I'm
Yeah.
trying to come up with a good answer.
Wait, yeah, take your time. You're all good.
I would say it helped really much with like transitioning our idea from just like a technical project to like a real business, especially with the Boss Golden ticket. We were able to sort of talk to like actual people that would want to use something like this and transition it to more of a business model that can maybe be applied and hopefully make revenue one day.
So, kind of for like my final question, is there anything else that you'd like to share about your hackathon experience overall? Can literally be about anything, something for the good of the cause.
Yeah, I'd say that I'd encourage literally anybody to ever do a hackathon. I know I always do hackathons. Typically, it's with one of these three at least, and I always have an
Mhm.
amazing time with all of them. Just
Mhm.
chilling with them, and we're building a project together. It's not always like super serious. We're able to take things kind of light and have a lot of fun with each other. So I'd say definitely
Yeah.
encourage people to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to like meet new people at the hackathon as
Yeah.
well. Like we were able to talk with other teams to kind of see like what ideas are going on, and just like all the cool innovative stuff that they're working on.
Also, you get access to free food, so
Yeah, food
definitely
is a
always
good
go.
one. Yeah.
Every time I do one of these interviews, someone talks about the food. It's like genuinely the only
Hmm.
common theme in every single video because I've heard it's really good.
Hmm.
So that is awesome. Well, if that's everything that you guys have to share, then that's basically the end of the interview. Thank you guys so much for being here and answering all the questions.